students. Today we are going to go on with our material. Our lesson for today is from Unit 9 in your original book, Unit 9, Period 2, which is in Unit 6, Period 2, also in the blended material. It talks also about sports, especially the Olympic Games. We have here examples of some sports, and we are going to know, according to the text, whether they are included in the Olympic Games or not. The sports that we have here are synchronized swimming, speed walking, baseball, golf, rugby, and squash. And you can recognize them from the pictures that you have. Before beginning with the text, يا توجيهي, I'd like you to know the new words that are required to understand. First, to understand the text, and then that you are being or you are going to be asked about them in the vocabulary section in your exam. These words are criteria. Criteria طبعا معناها معايير, and it is a plural noun, and the singular word of it is criterion. The end is R-I-O-N. And then we have it dropped. Dropped معناها أسقط أو تم التخلي عنه. And then combination. Combination مزيج أو خليط. Judging يعني للحكم عليه. Objective معناها موضوعي. And rule out استبعد. These are the new words that are required in this text. To start with, let us do the activity that is related to them. Then we are going to go back to the text and discuss it. Read the question, please, Yahala.
Replace the underlined parts of the sentences with words from the text. The sentences are in the same order as the words in the text.
Yes, do number 1 if you can, please.
What are the reasons or qualifications for being accepted on the course? Criteria.
Yes, reasons or qualifications means criteria. What about number 2? Jamil, can you do it, please? طيب, Ibrahim?
When he read the team list, he saw that he had been left out. Rule out.
Yes, left out means?
Rule out.
No, left out means dropped. أسقط أو تم التخلي عنه. تمام? What about number 3 يا أحمد?
It's an unusual mixture of flavors, but
Flavors,
it
yeah.
tastes good.
Combination. Yes, it's combination. Yes, what about number 4? Thank you, Ahmed. Number 4, Shahid.
I cannot choose between them. There is no way of deciding which is acceptable.
Yeah. What do you mean by deciding which is acceptable? Yes, yeah, Jamil, can you answer?
Judging.
Yeah, thank you, Shahid. It means judging. Jamil, you can do the next one, number 5.
You can hear me now?
Yes, it's clear.
We
You
need
can
to
go
look
ahead.
at the fact and reach a decision that is not based on personal opinion. It is
Yes,
objective.
The meaning objective, not based on personal opinions, means objective, موضوعي, which is the opposite of subjective, اللي هو متحيز. Now, what about number 6? Ibrahim.
is not a clear choice, but I wouldn't say it's impossible to include the young player. Rule out.
Yes, here say it's impossible to include means rule out. يستبعد أو استبعاد. So these are the answers for this activity. You can have a screenshot for them before beginning with discussing the text. That's it. Let's move back to the text and start reading, please, Ya Hala. Read paragraph 1, please, in order to discuss.
There are limits to how many sports can be included in the Olympic Games. In the 2012 Summer Games, there were 26, and the International Olympic Committee (IOC) have added 2 more for the 2016 golf and rugby sevens. There are various criteria that the IOC bases its decisions on, but the most important is probably international popularity. Sports tend to get included if they
Yeah.
have a tradition and are played and watched by enough people in enough countries.
Good. Now, as I told you at the beginning of the lesson, that our discussion for this text is about Olympic Games and what games are included in the Olympics. If I said that the number of sports that are included in the Olympic Games is limitless, is it true or false? Yes, yeah, Ibrahim.
True.
Again, yeah, Ibrahim, the number of the games included in the Olympic Games, or the number of the sports, طبعا, included in the Olympic Games is limitless.
No, false, because they
False.
added 2
Limitless
more.
means without limits. As you can see, there are limits to how many sports can be included in the Olympic Games. How many games were there in the Olympics in 2012? 2012. The number of sports included in the Olympics in 2012, ya Ahmad?
26.
26. What about, thank you, Ahmad. What about 2016? How many sports were included in the 2016? Ibrahim.
28.
28, which means how many games were added to the Olympics between 2012 and 2016? How many games did they add? 26, 26 in 2012 and 28 in 2016. How many games were added between 2012 and 2016? Yeah, Ibrahim.
2 games.
2 games. Good. What were they, ya Ahmad? The 2 games that were added for 2016. The names of games that were added. Jamil.
Golf and rugby sevens.
Yes,
I
sevens.
think.
Yes, rugby sevens and golf. Why do we focus on these numbers of the Olympics 2012 and 2016? Why don't we say, for example, 2013, 2014? This depends on your own information, if you know that idea. Why do we focus on 2012 then 2016, not 2013, 2014, 2015? Why don't we talk about that? Ibrahim.
Because in 2016, there's a various decision for the limits to how many sports can be included in the Olympics.
هلا, my question is, do we have, if I want to be more or clearer in my question, Do we have Olympics in 2013, 2014, 2015? What do you think, Hala?
Because Olympic Games يعني come one time in 4 years.
Very good. Olympic Games are held every 4 years. الألعاب الأولمبية كل 4 سنوات تعقد. تمام؟ Like the World Cup. كأس العالم. تمام؟ So the decisions, the limits of games or sports included in the Olympics is taken every 4 years. This is why we focus on these two dates. Thank you, Yahala. Now, who decides the number of of games included in the Olympics? Who chooses the games? أيوة يا إبراهيم.
The International Olympic Committee,
Committee.
IOS.
Yes,
IOS.
for
IOS.
IOC. For brief, we say IOC. So IOC is an abbreviation of International Olympic Committee. تمام. This committee زي لجنة chooses the Olympics, the games, that are included in the Olympics. So what are the criteria for that? يعني the IOC depends on to take its decision for choosing the Olympics. What do they depend on to choose the games included in the Olympics? Type. There is one criterion that the IOC, based on its decision when they choose a game to be included in the Olympics. True or false? Aya Hala.
False.
False. There are various criteria. There are many criteria. But what is the most important one? Aya Ibrahim.
The most important one, which is to get included, if they have a tradition and are played and watched by enough people in enough countries.
Yeah, يعني the most important criterion for choosing a game in the Olympic Games by the IOC is sports tend to get included if they have a tradition. This is number one, and they are played and watched by enough people in enough countries. What do we call this as a whole? What does this mean? A game or a sport has a tradition and is played and watched by enough people in enough countries. Aya Jamil, what do you call this?
International popularity.
Good. Then the most important criterion for choosing a sport in the Olympic Games is international popularity. This is the criterion. This is the name of the criterion. Now, what do we mean by international popularity? Yani, what does it mean that a sport is popular internationally? Two things. First, it has a tradition, and number two, it is played and watched by enough people in enough countries. Yani, have a tradition and are played and watched by enough people in enough countries. This is the explanation of what is the meaning of international popularity. Like in the criterion is international popularity. تمام؟ طيب. Let's have the references. 2012 يلا يا توجيهي. 2012 line 1 refers to Aya Hala.
The year when there were 26 games in the Olympic.
Very good. The year when there were 26 games or sports, both are correct by the way, in the Olympics. Sub 26. 26. Ibrahim.
The year of adding to sports to the Olympic Games.
Again, 26. Is it a year? I'm talking about 26.
Oh, no.
Look at the underlined part here,
Okay.
Ibrahim. Yeah.
Okay. How many sports were included in the Olympic Games in 2012?
You can say the number. Try to use this, Ibrahim. The number of games or sports included in the Olympics in 2012. Good. What about 2? Have a look at the screen when you want to answer. I underline the part that I want you to tell me the differential for it. Yes, Muhammad. Muhammad Fuad. Oh, there is a name before, I don't know. Shahid, maybe?
Two
Yeah,
more
Shahid.
sports. Two more sports.
Yes, you only say 2 more sports. What? Ah, try to be more accurate. What do you think, Jamil? How can we be more accurate? It's good that there are number of sports, but we have to add something. Yes, here, Jamil.
The manager of this company applied these games.
Jamil, we are talking about a number 2, line 2.
I'm sorry.
Don't
The
worry,
play,
but can you
the two
answer?
play. It applied about to play who's a manager applied when in 2026.
Yes, good.
This
That's
is what I
fine,
have.
but I need a more accurate answer. Thank you, yeah, Jamil. Hala, can you give us an accurate answer for this? 2.
The number of games that the Olympic had added, which are golf and rugby sevens.
When?
In 2016.
Good. So again, as let's say as a summary of what all of you said, 2 refers to the number of sports that were added to the Olympics in 2016. If you want to mention who added them, it's okay. So you say the number of sports that the IOC added or has added to the Olympics in 2016. طبعا I can say has added or I have added because committee can be used as a singular and a plural noun at the same time. طيب. That line 3 refers to Ibrahim, that yes.
There are various criteria that
Yeah, that's okay. Various criteria. That refers to the various criteria. طيب it's in the same line 3 يا هلا. It's
The International Olympic Committee, IOC.
good. IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee. The most important what? Yes, Ibrahim.
the most important criteria.
على criteria, if you paid your attention at the beginning of our meeting, I said it's a plural noun, but the singular of it is, do you remember? Yahala, what was it?
A criterion.
Yes, criterion. You end with ION because you are talking about one, so you have to use them singular. Good. Now they, line 4 refers to they. Ahmad.
Supports the tend to get included.
So sports. It's enough to say sports, yeah, Ahmad, huh? They refers to the sports. Good. Let's move on reading. Ibrahim, can you go on with paragraph 2?
For sure.
Thank you.
This
Go
lead
ahead.
to some interesting question. Why, for example, was baseball included from 1994, but 84, but then
Yeah, 84.
dropped for 2012. Although some think it's only popular in the USA, it actually has a large following in South America and Asia too. The main reason for leaving it out, according to some, is a combination for geography and politics. There is little interest. The sport in Europe and European members are in majority of the IOC.
In the IOC. Very good. Now, this refers to what? Before beginning with discussion, this leads to some interesting questions. This is the beginning of the paragraph. So you have to find something in the previous paragraph. Hala, what do you think? This refers to what?
Criteria.
اللي هي the most important criterion for including a sport in the Olympics is international popularity. هاي this كلها تمام. This leads to some interesting questions. What is the main criterion, sorry, for choosing a sport in the Olympics? International popularity. So this leads to some interesting questions. The question is, why was baseball included in 1984? Yani baseball, but then dropped for 2012. So my question is, baseball, nowadays, baseball is a game that is included in the Olympics, or that's a part of the Olympics. True or false, يا توجيهي? Baseball is a current game in the Olympics. Nowadays, we have baseball in the Olympics. What do you think, Ibrahim?
Please repeat the question and will be
My
clear.
question is a false statement, huh? Baseball
Yes,
is a current game in the Olympics. Or ممكن تيجي بطريقة ثانية. Nowadays, baseball is a part of the Olympic Games.
for sure false, because they were dropped.
Yes, it was part of it in 1984, but then they dropped it in 2012. So for how many years was baseball a part of the Olympics? يلا انتوا علمي تشوف. For how many years baseball was included in the Olympics? Yes, يا هالة. Yeah, from 1984 to 2012, 28 years. يعني for how many Olympics was it part? How many times did they play it in the Olympic Games? جميل.
7.
7, excellent. Good students, I'm proud of you, good. طيب, now baseball was a part of the Olympics in 1984, and then they dropped it. They left it out. We don't want this game in the Olympics. They said, or what was their, let's say, excuse for dropping the baseball from the Olympics? What did they say to drop it? It was a part and they dropped it. What did they say? The excuse or the reason for leaving it from the Olympics. أيوة يا هالة. Huh?
Yes, because يعني of a combination of geography and politics.
This is what people thought about, but my question is, the IOC, مش حكينا إنه IOC decides which games are included in the Olympics. They choose the games in the Olympics. Now, how did the IOC justify or explain dropping baseball from the Olympics? What was their reason? IOC, pay attention يا هلا.
Because it's only popular in the USA.
يعني ال IOC said that baseball is only popular or famous in the USA. معناته it did not match, or it does not match the criterion, the most important criterion, which is international popularity. يعني baseball is not popular around the world or internationally. But was this right? Ibrahim?
Actually, false.
هلا الاي او سي او خلينا نقول some people think that baseball is popular in the USA so they dropped it or left it out from the Olympics صح؟ Now was this
I think-
right? No, it is only popular in the USA.
I think they leaving it out according to some. It's a combination of geography and politics.
Good, this is the true reason, huh? The excuse, excuse untrue reason, huh? Excuse no, it has followers only or it is popular in the USA. My question, Ibrahim, is this right? Only يعني baseball is only popular in the USA?
False, because there is a large following in South America and Asia.
Very good. So baseball has a large following in South America and in Asia. يعني it has many people or many people are playing and watching it in enough countries in USA, in South America, in Asia. So it matches the criterion or the most important criterion, which is international popularity. تمام? But the main reason or the true reason for leaving it out, according to some people, was, as you said, a combination of geography and politics. How can you explain this? How is it a combination of geography and politics? أي هلا. What do you mean by baseball is يعني the reason for leaving baseball is a combination of geography and politics. Ibrahim.
We can say it's a mix of geography and politics, like politics, which is the party of the government, or we can say that.
By the way, توجيهي, when you have a colon, can you see it? This is a colon. نقطتين اللي فوق بعض هدول. What follows is an explanation of what is before. When I say, according to some, leaving baseball out is a combination of geography and politics, it means there is a little interest in this sport in Europe, and European members are in a majority of the IOC. IOC members, most of them are from Europe, تمام? And this sport, I mean the baseball, is not popular in Europe, so they left it out. That was the true reason, or that was what we mean by a combination of geography and politics. Got it? وضحت الفكرة توجيهي؟ يعني baseball matches the criterion, which is international popularity because it has followers in USA, South America, and Asia. But the true reason is that it is not popular in Europe. So there was a combination of geography and politics. Why do they focus on Europe? Because most of the members in the IOC who takes the decision were from Europe, were European people. That is the idea. Now, 1984. Let's try to finish this paragraph يا توجيهي. 1984 refers to what يا هلا?
The year when baseball included in the Olympics.
Very good. The year when baseball was included in the Olympics, 2012. Ibrahim.
The year where
2012.
baseball excluded.
Very
in
good.
the
Excluded or dropped out of the Olympics. Very good. It. Line 2 in this paragraph. Or let's say line 7 in the whole text. أي هلا it.
Baseball.
Baseball. Also, we have another it. It refers to the baseball. In the sport, line 9, the sport refers to. Yes? Ibrahim, the sport, which sport are we talking about?
We can see the Olympic.
Again, there is a little
sport.
little interest in the sport in Europe. Which sport?
Sport,
Unfortunately, I can't hear you well. Hala, what do you think the sport refers to?
Baseball.
Baseball, yes, we are talking about baseball. We are not talking about all the sports. We are talking only about baseball. Good. By the way, we still have 2 minutes to the end of the class, but I can't start with a new paragraph. So we'll have the last 2 paragraphs tomorrow, inshallah, at 4:50. We will finish this. Then we will discuss the questions after the text. You can prepare for this. Matching the titles with the paragraphs. This is a very important question, as I told you, and deciding whether the statements are true or false. We will finish this in addition to the pronouns. Actually, we are finding them one by one while we are discussing. And then I'll try to discuss with you a sample of the Ministry of Education exam questions on this text if we have time, inshallah. I will stop now. Thank you, Yatawjihi. But let me first have the attendance and then you can leave.